So, unfortunately, christiesides, the head coach for the Indiana Fever, that coach is Caitlin Clark, just got fired yesterday, and I thought today would be a great day to talk about how Caitlin Clark is actually the LeBron James of the WNBA. And please bear with me. Understand that I am a fan. I'm a huge fan of Caitlin Clark's. In fact, I paid to see her not once but twice. So I think I qualify as to give an objective take. I've watched every game, just about every game on WNBA's League Pass. $35 a year, by the way. It's really not that bad. But let's go ahead and get into it. LeBron James is also my favorite player, so this isn't a negative video, so understand that. If you're a fan of Caitlin Clark, don't expect any negativity from me because you're not going to get it. But first off, let's get into the popularity. So Caitlin Clark and LeBron James are both extremely popular. They're both the most popular players in their league. Obviously, it's a little bit more inflated for Caitlin Clark because no one is even close to her. I mean, if you look at Angela Reese and Sabrina Ionesco, it's really not even close, though. Let's not even joke about that. I mean, it's now LeBron James in the NBA. The NBA is already a very popular league. There's a deep, rich fan base. It's a little bit different. So it might seem like Caitlin Clark is more popular, but that's not really the case. But let's go ahead and get into the first point. Caitlin Clark is the best passer in the WNBA. LeBron James is the best passer in the NBA. So they're both their games are actually very similar offensively, very similar. If you look at Caitlin Clark, she's clearly, I just think they're both the best passers in basketball. I think they're both great facilitators, and that kind of leads me to my next point of maybe they should just stick with more facilitating than actually shooting because, hear me out on this one. Yes, Caitlin Clark and LeBron James, they're both known for, points. I mean, obviously, if you look at Caitlin Clark is number one all-time in the NCAA in points. LeBron James is number one all-time in the NBA in points. Obviously, I'm not saying that, the leagues are comparable. I mean, obviously, the NBA is very different, but the point is they both score a heck of a lot of points. But it's very interesting when you look at their efficiencies. It's very similar. And Caitlin Clark, although she's breaking records, she doesn't shoot at a very high clip compared to other players. I mean, it's okay, but this season she shot 34%, for example, which ranked 30th in the WNBA. While LeBron James ironically ranked 29th in the WNBA. I'm sorry, he ranked 29th in his league last season. Although he did not have a bad year for his standards, he was at 41%. So if you look at both of their careers, Caitlin Clark is shooting 34.4% from three, while LeBron James is shooting 34.8% from three. See how similar that is? That's very close. Kind of leaves a little bit to be desired, but I mean, it's not bad, but the point is, they're very close. And yes, I got to get into some of the negative. Let's be honest, these two complain nonstop. Yes, I get it. It's competitive nature, but no one else complains as much as these two to the refs. I mean, it's just nonstop. It seems just about every play the refs have to get tired of these guys, too. I mean, obviously, like I said, I love both of them. And I'm mentioning this because they're very similar in this way. It cannot be ignored that the fact that Caitlin Clark is much worse at it because I think she does complain a lot more than LeBron does, but she does not get criticized as much for it because the media and everybody still views her as this, fragile little flower. She's our little baby, so, but I mean, trust me, they both complain. Caitlin Clark is actually even more of a complainer, if you ask me. But like I said, I mean, it doesn't stop me from liking them. I mean, I think they're both great. I think they should just, stick with what they do, whatever gives them a competitive edge. I think they should just stick with that. I'm not saying they should change, but I'm just saying I'm just making a comment of how similar they are in that way. I mean, obviously, there's other reasons why LeBron James doesn't get away with it. I think people don't like him for a lot of other reasons, for whatever reason. But I think Caitlin Clark, the way she kind of spins it to the media, she's aggressive and she's fierce, and I love that. She's fierce on the court, but when she's off the court, she goes into this different mode of, very nice and polite, and kind of like how Tom Brady used to do it. He's all shucks, gee whiz, that kind. And then when he's on the court, he goes psycho Tom. So I think Caitlin Clark has a psycho energy when she's on the court, and I think it definitely helps her, and I think it's going to contribute to her being one of the best of all time. At some point, when it's all said and done. Now, this is something really important I got to mention because a lot of people just tend to watch the highlights. Like I said, I've watched the full games. I've paid to see her twice. I've watched the League Pass. I've watched just about every game on League Pass. She basically, she's a flopper. She flops a lot like LeBron James. LeBron James is the king of flopping, and she's the queen of flopping. I've seen it on three-point attempts. I've seen it here. I've seen it there. Trust me, it just happens nonstop. Like it's not even close. They're both the kings and queens of flopping. I get it. It's a competitive advantage, but these two have that in common. So they're both like that. I don't judge them. I mean, honestly, like I think that's just part of the game. You're looking for that foul. And then as far as I gotta mention that the fact that they're both very influential. Obviously, so it gets to the point where like they can dictate things like if you look at Caitlin Clark, she had something to do with chartered flights. Getting chartered flights for the rest of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark has a lot of power, and that's why that takes me to my next point. She's the reason why Christiesides got fired. I don't care what anyone says. If Chris, she has the power to. She could have had the power to stop that from happening. But that's just how it is. LeBron James got David Blatt fired. LeBron James got a lot of people fired, and it is what it is. It's just part of the league. They have a lot of power. Whenever you see coaches like that, they get like Salah from the Jets. Get fired one game out of first place. David Blatt getting fired, having the best record in the NBA at the time. Christiesides turned her franchise into since the All-Star break, they were the best team in the league. Since the All-Star break, they were the hottest team in the league. They made it to their first playoff berth. Oh, all of a sudden she gets fired. All that progress, and then she just gets fired. Trust me, that's Caitlin Clark. That's not on anybody else. That's Caitlin Clark. LeBron James did the same thing. Aaron Rodgers did the same thing. Tom Brady got, Bruce Arians fired. I mean, it just happens. I mean, we can play nice, we could be naive about it, but that's just how it is. So I hate to be blunt about that, but it's just the truth. I mean, it's just the way I see it. Love to get your thoughts in the comments below. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.